Join me as I dive into the fascinating history of early Australian women and try to uncover what their daily lives were really like. When we think about early Australia, we often imagine rugged men exploring the outback. But what about the women? Their stories, experiences, and contributions are often overlooked, and it's time to change that. Understanding the lives of women in early Australia is crucial to getting a complete picture of the country's history. Women in early Australia faced immense challenges. They were expected to take on domestic duties, raise children, and manage the household, all while living in harsh and unfamiliar environments. They had limited rights, and their voices were often suppressed. In many cases, they were forced to rely on their husbands or male relatives for financial support and protection. These societal expectations were suffocating, and women were often left with little room to pursue their own interests or careers. Many were forced into marriage at a young age, limiting their opportunities for education and personal growth. The lack of access to education and job opportunities meant that women were often relegated to menial tasks, with little chance of social mobility. The living conditions were also brutal. Women had to contend with harsh weather, limited access to healthcare, and isolation from their families and friends back in Europe. Many women died during childbirth or suffered from illnesses that were easily treatable in more developed countries. Despite these challenges, women played a crucial role in shaping early Australian society. They worked as teachers, nurses, and entrepreneurs, often in difficult and remote conditions. They also played a vital role in establishing and maintaining family dynamics, often holding families together during times of crisis. The impact of colonization on women's lives was also significant. Indigenous women, in particular, were affected by the displacement of their communities and the loss of their traditional way of life. Many were forced into servitude or were subjected to violence and abuse. European women, on the other hand, often brought with them their own cultural and social norms, which sometimes clashed with the harsh realities of life in Australia. One key moment in women's history in early Australia was the women's suffrage movement, which fought for women's right to vote. This movement, led by women like Vida Goldstein and Catherine Helen Spence, paved the way for future generations of women to participate in politics and shape the country's future. In 1894, South Australia became the first state in Australia to grant women the right to vote, followed by other states in the following years. This was a significant turning point in women's history, and it marked a major milestone in the fight for women's rights. Women in early Australia were resilient and resourceful, and their contributions to the country's development are undeniable. They fought against immense odds to establish themselves as equals in a society that was often hostile towards them. In summary, the stories of women in early Australia are a testament to their strength, courage, and determination. By exploring their experiences and contributions, we can gain a deeper understanding of the country's history and the role that women played in shaping it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to learn more about women's history, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll dive into another fascinating aspect of early settler life in 19th century Australia.